Do you want to know more about project risk management? Then you are in the right place. In this video, I will show you details on how to manage project risk. Hi, if you are seeing me for the first time, I am PM Professor, and for 30 years I have worked for Fortune 500 companies. And project management is what I do all day, every day. Let's dive in. When most people hear project risk, they think it means something bad might happen, like a delay, a budget overrun, or a technical failure. But that's only half the picture, because here's what nobody tells you. Risks aren't just threats, some risks are opportunities in disguise. So, the real definition of project risk management is a risk is an uncertain event that could push your project in either direction, towards failure or towards massive success. The teams that win are the ones who manage both the possibilities. Now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Risks exist, but why do I need to formally define them early in the cycle? Can't I just deal with the problems as they come up? Well, you could, but here's what happens when you miss or forget about them. Imagine you're building a house. You notice the ground seems a bit soft, but you figure it's probably fine. Therefore, you keep building. But 6 months later, the foundation starts cracking because, surprise, you built a house on unstable soil. Now you're looking at major and costly repairs. But what if you had found and defined that risk early? You could have spent a smaller amount on soil test and done some proper foundation work. It could have been handled very easily. That's the difference. The teams that define risks early spend less money, deliver faster, and actually sleep well at night. They're not putting out fires continuously, they are preventing them. And here's the other part that also matters. Defining risks isn't just about avoiding disasters, it's about spotting opportunities that your competitors sometimes miss. While everyone else is playing defense, you're finding ways to bring a new product or service that can cut timelines in half or double your return or investment, also known as ROI. So let's say you're now convinced you want to define risks. The question then becomes, what is the ideal time to do that? Most project managers make the same mistake here. They think, I'll do a big risk workshop at the beginning of the project, create a nice document, then I'm done. But then reality hits. 3 months into the project, a key vendor goes bankrupt. Nobody saw it coming because they stopped looking for risks after that initial kickoff workshop. The truth is, risk management never stops. It's like checking your mirrors while you're driving. You don't do it once at starting of the trip, you do it constantly while you're driving. Smart teams bake risk management checkpoints into their routine. In traditional waterfall projects, that means fortnightly or monthly reviews. But in agile teams, they talk about risks every week. Someone will typically say, hey, I'm worried about this API integration. Boom, that's a risk. You write it down and assign someone to handle it. And that brings up the question, who is the person who defines risks? You might think it's the project manager's job, but that's like saying the coach is the only one who should watch out for the other team's plays. The best projects treat risk like a team sport. The project manager coordinates, sure, but the developer spots technical risks. The designer notices UX risks, meaning user interface risks. Even the intern might catch something everyone else missed. But sometimes there is still a problem with making risk a team sport. Most team members will stay quiet. They will see a risk but think somebody else probably noticed this already, or I don't want to sound negative, and they will keep quiet. That's why great project managers create what I call psychological safety nets around risk discussions. They literally say at the beginning of the meeting, I need everyone to be paranoid for the next 10 minutes. What's the worst thing that can happen or could happen on this project? Suddenly, people start thinking differently and start thinking about risks and eventually start talking. And that's when you find risks that actually matter. All right, so you've got your team together, everyone's ready to identify the risks. But how do you actually do it without wasting 3 hours in a conference room listing things that'll never happen, probably, ever? Because here's the trap: most risk sessions turn into people saying vague stuff like communication issues or scope creep. Those aren't risks, those are just spoken words. Let me show you what actually works. I once worked with a team building a mobile app. We used a simple technique called SWOT analysis. Sounds fancy, but it's just asking 4 questions. What are we really good at? Meaning, what are the strengths? What are we weak at? Our weaknesses. What good things could happen? Opportunities. What could go wrong? Threats. When we asked what could go wrong, someone said, what if the app web portal company changes their review policy and rejects apps like ours and doesn't allow it to be uploaded? Everyone laughed it off, but we still wrote it down anyway and assigned someone to monitor it and mitigate that risk. 2 months later, it was announced by the app web portal company that they were changing their policy. Surprise! But since we had identified the risk and assigned someone from our team to mitigate it, we were ready. The team had already built a backup plan. While our competitors scrambled and missed their launch dates, we had our app going live on time. That's one risk definition, which took probably just 5 minutes to discuss and another few days to plan and mitigate. It saved the entire project. That's the power of asking the right questions early and managing risks through a formal risk management process.